सो गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन एंड निवेश एक्सपर्ट टॉक सीरीज के आज के सेशन में आप सभी का स्वागत है। मेरा नाम सुरुचि है और मैं आज के इवेंट की होस्ट हूँ। इवेंट पर जुड़े सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स अभी इस सेशन को केवल सुन सकते हैं और सेशन के दौरान आप अपने सवाल चैट के माध्यम से टाइप करके हमें भेज सकते हैं। सेशन के बाद हम आप सभी के सवालों को एक एक करके आंसर करेंगे। ये इवेंट रिकॉर्डेड है और इस इवेंट की रिकॉर्डिंग आप सभी के साथ जल्द ही शेयर की जाएगी। आज हम बात करने वाले हैं मार्केट ओवरव्यू और पावर ऑफ नेटवर्किंग के ऊपर। इस पर चर्चा करने के लिए हमारे साथ एडलवाइस एसेट मैनेजमेंट कंपनी की सीईओ मिस राधिका गुप्ता जी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। आज का टॉपिक जितना इंटरेस्टिंग है उतने ही इंटरेस्टिंग हमारे स्पीकर हैं। तो राधिका जी, शी इज अ ग्लोबल सिटीजन ग्रोन अप इन 4 कॉन्टिनेंट्स और ये बहुत ही बेहतरीन स्पीकर भी है, साथ ही साथ स्टोरी टेलर भी है। इनफैक्ट ये टेडएक्स और जोश टॉक जैसे प्लेटफॉर्म पर भी स्पीकर रह चुकी है। इनके यूट्यूब वीडियो द गर्ल विद द ब्रोकन नेक पर शी हैज गेन मोर देन 100,000 व्यूज, जहां इन्होंने अपनी जिंदगी की यात्रा बयान की। प्रोफेशनली राधिका जी एक इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोफेशनल है जो कि इंडिया में और ग्लोबली भी एसेट मैनेजमेंट में डाइवर्स एक्सपीरियंस रखती है। इन्होंने अपने करियर की शुरुआत मैकिन्से के साथ की और बाद में वॉल स्ट्रीट ज्वाइन किया और फिर काफी सारी प्रसिद्ध कंपनियों के साथ काम करती आए हैं। करंटली राधिका जी एडलवाइस एसेट मैनेजमेंट के साथ काम कर रही हैं और अब मैं राधिका जी से रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगी कि वो इस सेशन को आगे लेके जाएं। ओवर टू यू राधिका जी।
Good afternoon. You hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good. So good afternoon, everyone. And you handed it over to me. Lekin I know it's a Q&A session, so I'll hand it over to Pradeep. But thank you so much, and great to be here.
Great, Radhika. You're welcome. To this conversation today, and we're delighted to have you here with us today. So the way we've kind of structured it is that it's going to be a freewheeling chat and it's going to be a Q&A. और सबकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए इसको हम इंग्लिश हिंदी दोनों में बात करेंगे. So keep it as a mix between English and Hindi. And because we wanted you to come onto the platform, तो मार्केट्स तो हम लोग सब बात करते ही हैं रोज. तो क्योंकि आप हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ रही हैं, तो बिना पावर ऑफ नेटवर्किंग या बिना पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग के बिना ये थोड़ा सेशन अधूरा सा लगेगा. इसलिए मैंने बोला कि राधिका गुप्ता जी आ रही हैं तो उनके साथ हमें ये सेशन करना चाहिए, where she can give us some valuable insights for all our partners and investors on how to work upon these things. So आपका बहुत स्वागत है. और जो हमारे आज जिन लोगों ने हमें ज्वाइन किया है, हमारे सभी पार्टनर्स या इन्वेस्टर्स, all of you are most welcome to the session. And so the way we will do it is that over the next 35-40 minutes I have a set of questions which I'm going to ask Radhika, and Radhika as usual will answer them very eloquently. और उसके बाद आप लोगों के जितने भी सवाल होंगे उसको आप चैट में डाल सकते हैं, and I will take all those questions, right? So Radhika, we'll straight get in, and we will first kind of try to address the elephant in the room, which is that everyone is saying कि equity market में अभी क्या चल रहा है, क्या is it in a bubble situation right now? I know there is a standard answer that no one knows what's going to happen with the markets, but what's happening?
So yes, I think everyone has, and probably 3 days ago people would have had a very different tone when they asked this question.
Yeah.
Probably I think the last 3 days completely have changed a lot of people's, and it worries me to some extent, Pradeep, because इस market में क्या है, बहुत सारे नए निवेशक भी हैं, and I think since we are talking to a group of advisors, brokers, etc., it's also important to realize कि पिछले 1.5 साल में जो हमने unprecedented growth देखी है, उसमें बहुत नए निवेशक, बहुत नए advisors हैं जिन्होंने शायद ये market देखा नहीं है. In fact, from a fund management point of view, one of the things जो हम लोग काफी टाइम से बात कर रहे हैं कि one of the things that is new in this market is the composition of investors has changed. पहले हमारे investors ज्यादातर FII, DII होते थे और institutional investor की हमें समझ ज्यादा है. Globally now you have this trend of Robinhood investors, retail investors, and it has become ये बड़ा cluster हो गया है और इसको समझना उतना बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि जब मार्केट गिरेगा ये कैसे बिहेव करेगा इसको एक्चुअली समझना काफी मुश्किल है. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. लाइक नाउ I think as far as markets are concerned, we think that the primary driver of markets has always been earnings. And typically there have been three components to any stock market return: dividends, earnings, and multiple re-rating. If you
Right.
look at India, in previous bull runs, multiple re-rating was a significant part of the total return. Now that has become largely earnings led. So
Correct.
the good news is that the last 2 quarters of earnings, including this quarter, have been very, very good quarters around the board for earnings. And you know, when I talk to the team and we talk about disappointments, there are very few disappointments. So
Right.
you know, broadly, I think that is so. Are we at the beginning of an earnings expansion? Yes. Is there a very liquidity driven fragile environment? Yes. You know, and are there pockets of, you asked the question, bubbles? Is the market in a bubble? No, I would venture to say that markets are rarely in bubbles. I don't think the aggregate market is in a bubble because we are at the beginning of a corporate earnings sort of expansion. However, are there pockets where there is euphoria? Absolutely. You know, I'm happy to speak about them further. But are there pockets which don't make sense where there's euphoria? Absolutely, there are. They're not only in the listed markets, they're also in the unlisted markets. They're also in the IPO market. So I think it is a market where you need to be extremely quality conscious, extremely discerning. We are slightly on the side of caution.
Right. So अभी आपने जो बात की राधिका, उसमें you mentioned that कुछ sections हैं market के जहां पे हमें लगता है कि valuations are in excess or they've gone to a different territory altogether. So in your view, आपके हिसाब से वो कौन सी ऐसे sections, कौन से sectors हैं जहां आपको लगता है कि valuations काफी ज्यादा बढ़ चुके हैं?
So it's not sectoral, but I'll give you a couple of examples. So if you look at what is coming, and we run the largest IPO mutual fund in the country, right? I haven't seen, and we've been very excited about the IPO opportunity, yet I am going to make the statements that I will make. I have never seen a scenario, Pradeep, where 5 companies are listing in a day, where a company is listing on day 1 and 2 weeks later it's 15 times its IPO price. So there is a little element of froth picking up in some of those sections. In fact, people come to us and say कि आप लोग एक IPO fund चलाते हैं, आपने बहुत सारे IPOs में participate किया होगा. This year we have rejected more IPOs than we participated in. And so for us as investment managers, I think the challenge has been to be extremely discerning. IPO market is just one market. Some of the ways private markets are getting valued also continues, and it is actually a chain, right? If there is overvaluation in the private markets, it goes to the IPO market and then it reflects in the secondary market. None of this is actually very disconnected from each other.
Correct. And when it comes to bubbles, in fact, I was reading somewhere a couple of days back, now WazirX, which is a crypto platform, has got more customers than what Zerodha has. So while we talk about froth and bubble, in the equity markets, on the unlisted markets, कुछ अलग ही चल रहा है. I mean,
WazirX example, and I know the guys who run it, but the fact that crypto has more users than a platform like Zerodha, or than the total number of mutual fund subscribers in the country, I think perhaps tells you 2 things. One is it is an asset class, and I have said this on Twitter and many platforms, that is desperate for regulation. You cannot have an asset class with so many people coming in, and these are all young retail investors, that is fundamentally unregulated. So I think that is one. But second, also understand that while we may sit here, and I am one of those people who sits here and says it's not regulated, etc., etc. The fact is that many people have come into the asset class. So the way the millennial or the young investor is thinking and investing is also changing. And again, हम लोग एक advisory audience से बात कर रहे हैं, तो हमें भी ये ध्यान में रखना चाहिए कि लोगों की अपने निवेश से जो एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं, आशाएं हैं, वो भी बदल रही हैं, उनके टाइम होराइजन्स बदल रहे हैं, तो हमें भी थोड़ा खुद को बदलना पड़ेगा to be relevant to that audience.
Absolutely, I agree with you. The second thing is कि आपने नए निवेशकों की बात की कि इस मार्केट में पिछले 2 साल में बहुत सारे नए निवेशक आए. So आपने partly उसको टच किया, but to the distribution community, what would be your thought on जो नए निवेशक आ रहे हैं उनको कैसे अप्रोच करें आज के टाइम पे, बिकॉज बहुत सारे नए निवेशक पिछले 6 महीने और 1 साल के रिटर्न्स को देख के मार्केट्स में आ गए थे, बट एज अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर इट इज आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एज अ कम्युनिटी that we are doing the right asset allocation and we are guiding him in the right way. So what do you think कि क्या approach होनी चाहिए नए investors की?
So I think, you touched on this word, personal brand. I think this is the time a distributor will build the brand that he stands for. And I think वो brand build होगा in your conduct with investors. अब इस time पे a lot of people will push investors कि अच्छा market बहुत excited है, अच्छा आप ये कर रहे हो, अच्छा थोड़ा सा और करिए, ये थोड़ा frenzy है ये. This is the time to have difficult conversations with investors. अगर वो पिछले 1 साल की बात कर रहे हैं तो आपको रिस्क की बात करनी चाहिए, जो कि कोई नहीं कर रहा. If someone is a very low interest rate environment, so people are also doing all kinds of crazy things on the fixed income side. This is the time to tell investors no. It's the time to be a parent and have the conversations जो किसी को अच्छी नहीं लगती, लेकिन आपके अच्छे के लिए, and people remember it. All my at least career experience suggests that when a downturn does happen, and markets obviously move in cycles, people will remember the advisor who told them at this point, "Achha, this was not good for you." And it's not a pleasant conversation to have, but it is a necessary conversation to have. So I think as advisors, distributors, this is the most important conversation we have. The second conversation is also, Pradeep, to guide them towards simplicity. Is time pe, one of the other things I'm seeing is a lot of complexity comes in all such markets. So, you'll have a blockchain fund, and you'll have X, and you'll have Y, and you'll have Z. Most people don't understand any of this. I mean, I run one of the largest investors. Funds are not for first time investors, क्योंकि जब वो मार्केट खराब होता है ना, तो किसी में आता कि चाइना में क्या हो रहा है, and then they start getting. So I think guiding people towards simplicity and telling them कि पहले आपको बेबी पूल में स्विमिंग करनी है before you jump into the diving pool, वो भी बहुत जरूरी है, because यहाँ complexity बहुत फैली है.
Correct. No, you are absolutely right. And ये एक चीज है जो हम भी इंटरनली अपनी टीम में और डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स से हमेशा ये बात करते हैं, बोलते हैं कि अगर आप म्यूचुअल फंड इंडस्ट्री में सबसे बड़ी कैटेगरीज देखें जहाँ मैक्सिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट्स होती हैं, which are those categories? Those are categories which are very simple. So for example, a liquid category or an ultra short or a balanced advantage or a large cap equity fund or a multi cap fund or a flexi cap. So these 8-10 categories constitute about 90% of the mutual fund AUM, जिसका मतलब ये है कि एक जो इन्वेस्टर इन्वेस्ट करने जा रहा है उसको सिंपल चीज ही समझ में आ रही है, और एक्चुअली वो सिंपल चीज ही है जो इफेक्टिव भी है in terms of meeting his expectation, right? So and simplicity is something which never goes out of fashion, right? Because all the other things can be fads, but simplicity is something which is evergreen, and the simple products जो है हमेशा रहेंगे, right? So that's a point well put. The third thing, Radhika, is कि इस टाइम पे सब equity चल रहा है, right? और मेरे जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो ये कहता है कि जब एक एसेट क्लास completely neglect हो जाती है, that is the time to start looking at that asset class also, which I feel is fixed income right now, right? Now, अभी fixed income में, because where the interest rates are, where do you feel are the pockets of opportunity in fixed income? अगर किसी को अपने क्लाइंट का पैसा fixed income में इन्वेस्ट करवाना है, तो कौन से फंड्स को उसे देखना चाहिए?
So firstly, you are right कि आजकल की तारीख में फिक्स्ड इनकम के बारे में बात करना बहुत अनग्लैमरस हो गया है. People make statements like जो फिक्स्ड इनकम से पूरे साल में कमाएंगे वो इक्विटी में 1 हफ्ते में कमा लिया. That is exactly the time to look at fixed income. Okay. So second is, I believe in any market, especially a low interest rate regime, fixed income is not a greed asset class. You want to be greedy, please go to equity, right?
Correct.
You do small cap, you do mid cap, you do international, you do whatever. Fixed income is not the place to be greedy. We have learned that in the credit crisis. आपको लगता है आप 1% ज्यादा कमा रहे हैं, you are not realizing the bond that is priced at 9 versus priced at 8. वो 9 में बहुत ज्यादा risk है. So I think that is very important. Now, simple approach. हम लोग ना fixed income investing को, I think as an industry sometimes it can sound very complicated for the consumer. It's very easy in the context of a bank. I think there's 3 kinds of fixed income money. One is money that you need for liquidity, where you do your liquid overnight funds. There's a set of money that I think you need for 1 to 3 years, where I think in today's environment, arbitrage funds do a very good job because they have that post-tax benefit. over 3 years, I like high quality funds, and I have a huge bias, as you know, towards this target maturity segment of passive funds. Started with Bharat Bond, and of course, we and others are building out the suite. But it's very simple. These are FD proxies. And today, if you look at the products, especially in the 5, 6, 7-year aspect of the curve, the interest rate curve is very steep. So 3 साल के बजाय अगर आप 5, 6, 7 साल का करें तो आपको यील्ड भी ठीक मिल जाएगा, ये सॉवरेन और पीएसयू बॉन्ड्स भी हैं, और आपको एटलीस्ट ये सर्टेनिटी है कि 5 साल के लिए निवेश करेंगे तो मिलेगा क्या, वो तो पता है.
Correct. No, absolutely. I think what you have said is completely bang on. So Radhika, within your basket of funds, Edelweiss mutual funds में, equity में, balance category या fixed income category में, जो भी आपके पास products हैं, कौन से products ऐसे हैं जो आप recommend करेंगी at this point in time for people to invest?
Okay, so firstly you're asking me कि अपने बच्चों में से choose करो, तो वो हमेशा बहुत मुश्किल होता है.
But there is always a favorite child.
Okay, so favorite child is very easy in my case. Favorite child is Balanced Advantage Fund. And मैं बोर होके कह के लोग सुन के थक गए हैं, लेकिन favorite child तो हमेशा वही रहेगा. मुझे लगता है Balanced Advantage Fund, और आपने भी इस asset class का जिक्र किया था तो मुझे अच्छा लगा. जिंदगी की थाली है, हिंदुस्तानी थाली है, उसमें थोड़ी दाल भी है, उसमें थोड़ी सब्जी भी है, थोड़ी रोटी भी है, बैलेंस्ड मील है, कोई बहुत ग्लैमरस नहीं है, लेकिन ज्यादातर निवेशकों की नीड्स अच्छे से सूट करता है. और इस मार्केट में where you want the upside, yet you are a little unsure कि भाई मार्केट बहुत गिरे, you don't want a shock, I think it's a great product. I personally have about 60-70% of my personal money in it at all points in time, and I think हमारा product उस केस में बहुत unique है because it is most balanced advantage funds, as you know, use that price to earnings model by
Right.
हमारा अप्रोच सिंपल है. जैसे गाड़ी चला रहे हो आप दिल्ली या बॉम्बे में, मौसम अच्छा है, हाईवे अच्छा है तो स्पीड बढ़ाओ, मार्केट वॉलेटाइल है, रोड खराब है, बारिश आ रही है तो स्पीड कम करो. It's a trend following model. Obviously the fund has done extremely well, but if I had to pick one favorite child, I think it's the full solution. If you were to look at other things, I think one of the good things about our fund house, and obviously हर CEO biased होता है, is we have a very wide range of things. But within the things that we have, I think a few things that you will like. One is that on the equity side, we run one of the best mid-cap funds in the country. उसका 13-14 साल का track record है. और बहुत सारे mid-cap funds बहुत बड़े हो गए हैं. हम लोगों का is at a size which is just right from a liquidity, and the fund manager can be very dynamic. So I think we do a very good job there. We run a very good bouquet of international funds. I think our US tech fund is the first in the market. China is the only one in the market. So if people are looking for international exposure, they can look at that from us. And then, of course, on the fixed income side, the whole index fund and Bharat Bond, the whole target maturity basket, we are about 80% of the basket there. So I think these are the big few ones. But obviously, I told you the favorite child.
Sure. Radhika, congratulations to you on taking over as the vice chairperson for AMFI. Right?
Thank you.
And I mean, I've been in the industry for close to 2 decades now, and I've seen how AMFI has evolved over the years. Honestly, in the initial years, in the start of the century, from being a toothless body to the role that AMFI plays now, and especially जिस तरह की social media campaigns, खासकर जो mutual fund सही है campaign पिछले 3-4 साल से चलता आ रहा है, उसका जो impact है और जो और चीजें AMFI कर रहा है. So what we would want to understand from you is, because अभी ऐसा है that it's going to come from horse's mouth since you're taking over. What do you see are the latest trends in the mutual fund industry which can help our distributors understand कि अभी चल क्या रहा है mutual fund industry में? कुछ ऐसे specific 2, 3, 4 trends हैं जो आपको लग रहा है कि अभी आ रहे हैं और आने वाले टाइम में ये trends होंगे. So if you can share that with us.
So firstly, thanks. It's my early days in AMFI, although I've been on the board for many years. And आप ठीक कह रहे हैं. I think 4-5 साल पहले जब मैंने ये इंडस्ट्री ज्वाइन की थी तो तब तो थोड़ा सा म्यूचुअल फंड प्रोमिनेंट हो गया था, लेकिन मेरे 10 साल पहले अगर आप किसी से कहते थे कि मैं म्यूचुअल फंड के लिए काम करता हूँ तो वो कहते थे अच्छा बैंक के है, कुछ ऐसा है, इतना कुछ जानते नहीं थे. You know, I became AMFI vice chair 2-3 days ago. तो वो कुछ आर्टिकल आए तो my brother called me and he said मेरे engineering friends तुम्हें congratulate करना है. I said उन्हें कैसे पता, तूने कुछ भेजा? He said नहीं, आजकल सब मनी कंट्रोल पे हैं तो AMFI सबको पता है. And I said that is a sea change for mutual
sea
fund.
change, absolutely.
जो internal हमारी AMFI body होती थी, अब वो आम आदमी को पता है कि क्या है. So I think AMFI has done some fantastic work. Mutual funds सही है, and I have friends in the real estate business and insurance business who always come and say कि काश हमारी एक ऐसी body होती जो इतना साथ आके, because when you pool energies, even in distribution, when you pool budget, when you pool thoughts, when you pool energy, you can do a lot more than when you do anything individually. So I think from an AMFI and industry point of view, I think the most important thing is, of course, increasing mutual fund penetration. And आपने crypto का जिक्र किया. I think the biggest thing that we can do is to take the mutual fund story to more and more consumers. You will also see AMFI doing some stuff around promoting distributors. So while mutual fund sahi hai has been, important, I think we do realize that without our distribution fraternity, none of this is going to go very far. So you will see more effort in terms of promoting distributors. If people haven't seen, there will be a lot more effort on digitization. Abhi MF Central launch hua hai, which is making it easier for people. And I know the numbers to do NCTs and, some of these nominee and that kind of thing in an easy way. That I think will expand. MF Central will be available for distributors also. So I think some of these digital tools, if there's one request I had to all of you, would definitely be to embrace some of these digital tools that are coming out and give feedback as to how they can get better. So I think digitization will be very big. I mean, the fact is the industry operated completely normally during COVID. And I think that has been a big positive for us. I think third trend is you will see a lot more new AMCs and you will see a lot more new products. And, from a distribution point of view, I think your role only goes up in becoming more discerning, because I always believe कि जब complexity बढ़ती है निवेश की, एक टाइम पे निवेश बहुत सिंपल था यार, LIC पॉलिसी करते थे आप, FD जाके करते थे, लोग कहते थे एडवाइजर की जरूरत क्या. अब ऑप्शंस इतने हो गए हैं कि उन्हें समझाने वाले की जरूरत एक्चुअली ज्यादा बढ़ गई है. So while there's all this talk about direct, etc., the role of a distributor, and products are getting more complex, right? Someone could understand a large cap versus mid cap easily, but maybe for a China fund, he needs guidance.
Correct.
Maybe for someone. So I think an increase in the number of AMCs, the number of styles. There are 40 AMCs. I expect this number to become 60. Pretty reasonably soon, and fairly credible people, and all kinds of different products. I mean, in my own AMC, we have a product pipeline of new products all the way for 2 years from now. तो हम लोगों की भी सोच अब इतनी आगे तक चल रही है, and some of the stuff that has not existed in industry. तो ये अभी हम जाके सोच रहे हैं. So I think in terms of upskilling yourself and getting yourself ready for that, that is extremely important. And I think both is just being out there, because one thing COVID has taught us is it's not about how much marketing budget you have. It is really about the brand and reach that you create. I mean, I was just talking to the Mire guys and they crossed 1 lakh crore. And the fact that us, Mire, a few of us have grown without the big budgets and banks means that if you build consumer credibility, even as a distributor, you will grow. So you have to ask yourself, what can I do to make the most of this?
Absolutely, I think that's a great example. तो जो राधिका जी ने अभी बोला वो हम सारे सब डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स के लिए बहुत important है. जब मिरे इंडिया में आया था, no one knew who Mire is, right? I mean, no one knew what this company is, what does it do, what's the background, and look where they've reached today. And the same goes with Edelweiss in the mutual fund space. Being a relatively new player, the growth has been fantastic for the AMC, right? So this is something, what this shows is कि अगर आपके पास बहुत strong brand backing नहीं भी है, अगर आपके पास बहुत बड़ा distribution network नहीं भी है, even then अगर आप जो भी अपने customer को value दे रहे हैं, अगर आपका value proposition बहुत strong है, nothing can hold you back from growth, right? So I think that is the central message that Radhika is also trying to drive home. So we are kind of through with the first part of what we wanted to discuss with you, Radhika, and get your insights on. Before I move on to the second part, I would request all participants, आपके जो भी सवाल हैं आप उसे चैट में डाल सकते हैं. मैं राधिका जी से अपने सवाल पूछने के बाद आप सबके सवाल लूंगा, so you can put those questions in chat. So maybe we move on outside the mutual fund industry, outside markets, to a completely new section where we believe that it would not be wrong to say that you're one of the gurus there right now, right? From the industry, which is on how do you use networking, how do you build your personal brand and, you know, things around it. So the first thing that I want to know from Radhika from you is कि networking करना क्यों जरूरी है?
Okay, so firstly, I will start by telling you that, and you know, people often tell me these things that, you know, you're a guru of personal brand, etc., etc. One is I know nothing. I have never studied personal brand. In fact, when I joined the AMC industry, one of my bosses said that you are a very good investment professional, because I come from an investment background, but you're fundamentally a shy person. और तेरे को marketing or branding तो बिल्कुल नहीं आती है, which is correct because I don't come from a marketing background. So the fact that someone is even telling me this today, I feel like it's a great achievement in life. Because I don't come. And I think the reason I am telling you this is you don't need to be a marketing person to get this right. I think personal brand is not so complicated. Second question is, I'm fundamentally a very shy person. I was a person who dreaded walking into a conference room even till 3-4 years ago, क्योंकि मुझे लोगों से बात करने से डर लगता था. So the second thing I'm telling you is, you can be a reserved, shy person and yet build out a personal brand. These two things don't need to go. And that is why I'm putting this little disclaimer. Now, why is personal brand extremely important? Well, you know, all of us are fighting for a consumer's mind share. And ultimately, financial services kiska business hai? Ultimately, financial services trust ka business hai. You are handing over money to people, and you know, I mean, people have to trust you, and they will trust you when they trust your brand. That is why personal brand is important. Now, people here are not employees of organizations. You are entrepreneurs. It is even more important. When you go in the market, you fight a Standard Chartered, you fight an Axis Bank, you fight an HDFC Bank, you fight established brands. What do you stand for? You have to do that. So, one of the things I learned in my earlier days is that, one, you need to find platforms where you're visible. And we all say the same things, right? Nivesh ke बारे में उतनी बातें कर सकते हैं. You need to find a way to say it differently, and that is your personal brand. Correct. The other thing I would say about personal brand, and you know, I'm sure there'll be further questions, is it is not difficult to build. In today's social media age, you know, you actually can be a shy person. You don't need to physically go out there, but if you leverage online tools sharply enough, and I'll give you some examples, you have no idea where brand can take you. So this is free. This is actually free. Now I'm a baniya, right? This is free marketing and publicity. If you don't take advantage of it, I mean, why would you not?
Absolutely, absolutely, right. So distributors के लिए वो आप क्या सुझाव देंगी कि वो अपना नेटवर्क कैसे बनाएं और वो नेटवर्क बनाने से उनका बिजनेस ग्रोथ में कैसे हेल्प हो सकता है?
Okay, so there are 2-3 things. One is content. आप क्या content put out करते हैं? दूसरा, आप कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे कंटेंट पुट आउट करते हैं? तीसरा, आप किस लोगों से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं? I think distributors should put out very interesting content, and there are some really good guys in the distribution and advisory fraternity that have created tremendous personal brand by putting out content. There is so much. I mean, people have personal finance influencers who are comedians here. You guys are educated, smart people who know finance. Find a niche of people and put out content that's relevant to it. Is it young women? Is it 25-year-old professionals? Is it doctors? Is it armed forces people? Find, and it doesn't need to be a category niche. Can you communicate finance through stories? Find some place where you can make a difference with the content. And please remember, आपको कोई नई theory invent करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You have to say something that is valuable to someone. So you can say the same thing in a simple and different way. वही बहुत है. So that is one thing. I think quality of content. Second is digital tools. I think Twitter is a fantastic tool to build out your personal brand. LinkedIn can also be an extremely powerful tool. And there are also now new age tools, you know, like Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse that are audio platforms that you can use to try and engage with people. For instance, our brand hosts a Twitter Spaces every month. It's hosted from my handle. We typically have about 800 to 1,000 people. Now we invite usually one distributor to come speak with us because we want to give them exposure. We had a young woman, good distributor in Bombay, but had no Twitter followers. In fact, she just opened a Twitter account for this chat. She was so good, and it was a panel with me and Monica Hallan. And Monica is an experienced speaker. I mean, she was so good that by the end of the session, she had 500 people talking to her on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's just a brilliant way to go out there and build a personal brand through spaces. So that is
Absolutely.
one example of something that you can do. So you have to use platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, Spaces, etc. And remember, when you're building out a brand, I think the third thing I would say is when you're reaching out to people, be very careful about what you post and very sensible. You will get noticed if you post content that is consistent. So you have to keep posting content that is thoda sa authentic and meaningful, and content that is appropriate. So bashing religion, bashing politics, this is not our Facebook handle, guys, right?
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
bashing the industry, none of this looks particularly good. So I'm very, very picky about what goes out on my Twitter and LinkedIn feed, because ultimately every single thing you do is a reflection of you. My father served India for many years and he never wore jeans, you know, even when he traveled personally. And I used to ask him why. And he said, you know, everything I do is a reflection of India. And if I look shabbily dressed, then
Correct.
people will assume Indians are shabbily dressed because that's how the
Correct.
Indian
Correct.
culture is. And so that is, there's a great analog to content also.
Correct. Correct. So I would just like to add one thing to what just Radhika said. And ये जब मैं काफी सारे अपने partners और distributors से बात करता हूँ, who are trying to build a personal brand on Twitter, LinkedIn and different places, they say that हम लोग बहुत कुछ post तो कर रहे हैं लेकिन हमें success नहीं मिल रहा. तो एक जो point बहुत important है, that is consistency.
Yes.
Because बहुत लोग क्या करते हैं कि आपने 15 दिन कुछ कंटेंट डाला, 1 महीना डाला, 2 महीना डाला, फिर आपने उसको छोड़ दिया. So for anyone to have a connect with the audience, अगर आप अपने audience के साथ connect बनाना चाहते हैं, consistency होना बहुत जरूरी है. And there is no time frame to it. There is no, it's not a 6-month job or it's not a 6-year kind of a thing. It is just that every day you have to be consistent and keep on doing it, because results also take about 6 months to 1 year to come, right? So I have my own example. I mean, I started my posting something on LinkedIn last year, and I think 7, 8 months, 9 months, I have been very, very consistent. Last couple of months, I have not been getting time to post. But I went from almost 1,000, 2,000 followers to about 20,000 followers in 7, 8 months because I was consistent. तो मैं आप सबको यही कहना चाहूंगा कि कंसिस्टेंसी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आपके मन में जो भी थॉट्स हैं वो ऑथेंटिक होने चाहिए. जैसे राधिका जी ने बोला, we should not indulge in discussing things जो polarize करते हैं, like politics or religion, because these are very personal things where there is a sentiment or
opinion on things that are relevant to you. So
absolutely,
do you have an opinion on Shah Rukh Khan's son? No, you can have an opinion, right? But
you can need to voice it.
Yeah, you can have that opinion with your friends and family. So you ultimately represent personal finance, right?
Correct.
You can have an opinion on leadership, or you can connect it to personal finance, but do you need to have an opinion on everything that happens? No, absolutely not. I mean, and I think the other thing, Pradeep, I would say is, don't wake up counting followers. So don't wake up saying, "Aaj मेरे 5 follower बढ़े." अच्छा, आज follower नहीं बढ़े तो बहुत दुख हो रहा है. You know, life doesn't work like that. You have to enjoy social media, otherwise you won't be able to sustain.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's a very valid point. So finally, any kind of tips, ideas, some thoughts you would want to leave around this entire topic of personal brand and networking with us?
Find a space and make 2-3 posts a week. Don't feel the pressure to do one a week. Start with one platform. So don't say कि मैं आज Twitter भी करूँगा, LinkedIn भी करूँगा, Instagram भी करूँगा. The way I started my journey is when I joined as CEO. I think I didn't have any followers then. I started with Twitter, and for 1 or 2 years I started building the Twitter platform. And I said I will talk about personal finance, and I am not going to talk too much markets. So if you see most of my tweets, they're not markets, they're personal finance, or I'll talk about leadership through my journey and storytelling. After 1-2 years, when the handle got popular, I started posting on LinkedIn. I use some of the same content on LinkedIn, but I don't post personal finance content on LinkedIn because people on LinkedIn don't care much about personal finance. Now I have both handles working and I don't do anything else. So also remain very, very focused. So start this journey gradually. Aadmi ko thodi success milti hai, as you said, na, then you're motivated to do more. But 3 posts a week on one platform that you want to try. And please explore the audio format. It's thorough. Imagine if you have 800, 900 people listening to you give your opinion on something for 1 hour, what that does to your brand as an IFA.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely correct. So Radhika, finally, what's happening at Edelweiss? Looking forward, अभी क्या चल रहा है? क्या plans हैं? Where are you heading as a company? What are you intending to do?
बहुत कुछ चल रहा है, बहुत कुछ चल रहा है. We manage today about 68,500 crores in assets. And I mean, I don't like speaking AUM numbers too much, but we have very ambitious plans. I think we've done a lot of hiring. So we just strengthened our long only team with 2 very senior hires. Fixed income hybrid are in good shape. We are growing our existing funds. We are doing lots of new funds. So we have probably 3 fund launches in the next 2 months that will come from us, and then 1 more in January. And as I said, we probably have a product pipeline of 15 to 20 new ideas over the next 2 years. In categories where we have done work like passive debt, but or a few other things, active, passive, everything. So lots of stuff is happening. We are buzzing and we have no time. I think that's where we are, and we're looking for ways to connect with people.
Right. Great. Also, Radhika, there's another thing which is, and last month we had the good fortune of having Nilesh speaking to our partners, and I brought that up with Nilesh also and bring it up with you also. That मैं हमेशा अपने partners को, distributors को यही बोलता हूँ that a lot of people get worried with direct platforms and different platforms coming in and probably eating it into their business. And मैं हमेशा ये बोलता हूँ कि अगर आप इसको एक केक की तरह समझे तो ये केक इतना बड़ा है, ये केक बड़ा होता जाएगा कि इसमें सबके लिए स्पेस है, so you can have your piece of the cake, right? And the piece will only get bigger, right? So I think it will be good अगर हम आपसे भी इसके बारे में कुछ सुन पाएंगे, because that will give people more confidence कि how should distributors view कि उसको हम एक threat की तरह लें, competition की तरह लें, या should we kind of have that as a part and parcel of being in the industry.
I'll give you an interesting analogy. Just like you have this direct threat in our industry, people keep having this active versus passive debate, which I find completely unnecessary.
Absolutely.
I mean, I keep saying the pie needs to grow up. Active, the equity penetration in the country and mutual fund needs to grow. Active, passive, smart beta, semi beta, it doesn't matter.
The real fight, in fact, should be between mutual funds and fixed deposits. That's the fight where it should be, not
mutual fund and crypto.
Yeah, crypto now, absolutely.
Mutual fund and crypto. I mean, we are sitting and fighting over active and passive and smart beta and index.
And then people going and investing in crypto.
So when we were having this discussion, my equity CIO, we were filing a passive fund. And so someone was asking him, are you feeling insecure? Ke passive fund ka NFO ho raha hai? He's like, I have no insecurity. He's like, everything can exist. Active bhi exist karega, passive bhi exist karega. If I do a good job with my active funds, the sales team will sell my active funds. And, it is fine. And I would tell you the same thing about direct. And the market is big enough for both. That's finally what Pradeep said. He said the market is big enough for regular, it's big enough for direct, it's big enough for active, it's big enough for passive. The greatest thing about living in India is यहाँ 5 रुपए का वड़ा पाव भी मिलता है और 5,000 रुपए का मील भी मिलता है और दोनों के लिए बहुत कस्टमर है.
Correct.
So there are customers who need advice, there are customers who need distribution, there are customers who need direct, and I'm telling you this as someone who's in the news and on social a lot, don't take the news too seriously. If we in AMC believe the news, only passive investing would happen in the country, when the fact is that active equity NFOs today, and 50% of my business is passive, active equity NFOs today collect 10,000 crores, passive NFOs collect 100 crores. So don't be colored so much by this narrative of direct. It's all over the place. Don't follow the news. Focus on building a quality business. If you do a good job for your consumers, you're not stoppable.
Great. That's a great answer, Radhika. What we'll do is we've got about 10-15 minutes left. We'll take some questions from the audience. So मैं आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, आप राधिका जी से जो भी सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं उसको अपनी चैट में डाल दीजिए. I will ask that question to Radhika. So do we have some questions here? So firstly, Mr. Prashant is congratulating you for becoming the vice chair at AMFI.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prashant.
Mr. Linesh Rathod is saying that, ma'am, किसी client को यदि 10 लाख रुपए 10 साल के लिए invest करने हैं, तो किस type का fund आप suggest करेंगे?
So I think it depends on the client. The real answer is depends on the client, or more than me आप suggest करेंगे तो I think आपका suggestion valid रहेगा. I think asset allocation मत भूलिए, जो भी आपका client का वो है, in this market don't get caught up. I think a good portfolio, this sounds very basic, will have a good mix of some simple domestic equity, some simple domestic fixed income, and if the client is a little sophisticated, then some international equity.
Correct. So Rathod ji, I would just want to add to what Radhika said कि आपके क्लाइंट का क्या एज ब्रैकेट है, उनका क्या रिस्क प्रोफाइल है और कितने 10 साल आपने बोला वो इन्वेस्टमेंट करना चाहते हैं. तो उसके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि आप एक प्रॉपर एसेट एलोकेशन करें, कुछ पोर्शन इक्विटी में डालें, तो 10 साल एज एडवाइजर टू इन्वेस्ट इनटू इक्विटी, कुछ आप फिक्स्ड इनकम में डालें और कुछ आप बैफ जैसी कैटेगरी या बैलेंस एडवांटेज जैसे कैटेगरी में डाल सकते हैं. तो ये तीन कैटेगरीज ऑन अ बैलेंस ओवर अ 10-year period will give you decent returns, right? So that could be one thing. So do we have any other questions? I don't see any other questions. आप लोगों के अगर कुछ भी सवाल हो, if you have any questions, please post on the chat and I'll ask Radhika those questions.
जी, मैं सभी पार्टिसिपेंट से रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगी, आप अपने सवाल प्लीज हमें चैट के माध्यम से या Q&A के माध्यम से टाइप करके भेजिए और हम एक एक करके आपके क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करेंगे.
How long do you expect the B30 incentive to last? Mr. Isaac is asking you this, Radhika.
I don't have a comment on this because I don't have any view that it will not last. So I can't say more on that.
Okay.
I don't have any information to suggest that what is today there will change.
Sure.
Pradeep ji, we have some questions in the question answer tab also.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Ajay Srinivasan is asking you, at current market level, don't you feel it is expensive, with respect to the market PE?
Okay, so I think one is, and sorry, my network is a little issue. I think one is that, looking at the world at just this single price to earnings lens, and this is one of those media things, is not a very wise thing to do. It's not that valuations are not important. But looking at the world in a single price to earnings lens is a little bit of a problem, especially when you look at single companies. I think valuations are important. As I said, my take is, I think we are at the beginning of a meaningful earnings upgrade cycle. That is what we are starting to see in corporate results. And while, yes, there are pockets of bubbles and pockets of areas of stress, on aggregate, I think we are in a comfortable situation. It's not a cheap situation by any means.
Right. The next question again from Mr. Srinivasan, he's saying that small and mid caps, do you feel still they have some upside?
So everyone's been surprised by the mid and small cap rally, but you have to remember that there was a significant period where mid and small caps substantially underperformed large caps. We do believe, and we run one of the better mid cap funds, that there are legs to go in mid cap, but they will be volatile. So our recommendation to mid cap investors has been be SIP and STP investors.
Mr. Prasann Kumar Taparia is saying nowadays market is on the downside. Balance advantage fund कैसा रहेगा? I think ये question Radhika ji answer कर चुकी हैं. I think balance advantage fund is something which you can look at irrespective of wherever the markets are. क्योंकि balance advantage fund का काम ही यही होता है कि आपको market के ups and downs से protect करके रखे, right? So the next question we have is from Mr. Dinesh Rathod only. Ma'am, IPO fund का क्या figure है? The figure I think he's saying, what's the AUM of your IPO fund?
IPO fund is about 900 odd crores. For people asking, yeah, it's doubled since opening. It was 400 crores when we opened in June, July. It's now 900 crores. We do intend to pause subscriptions for HNIs. I mean, except for small retail subscriptions beyond 1,200 crores. So that announcement will come from us because we want to make sure we take the money that we can manage. And
sure.
We have been surprised by the growth and popularity.
The next question is from Mr. Umesh. He's saying, congratulations, ma'am, for AMFI Vice Chairman. Just wanted to know why people focus on NAV and NFO. As they get unit at 10 rupees, they think it's cheap and they will get more units rather than focusing on good existing schemes as NAV is on date value. So why is still 10 rupees?
ये तो आप मुझे बताइए नहीं.
I think मैं उमेश जी आपसे ये कहना चाहूँगा कि over a period of time, I think investors भी evolve हो गए हैं काफी. और अभी जिस तरह से अवेयरनेस बढ़ रहा है, आई डोंट थिंक दैट many investors are investing in IPOs or NFOs only because it is at 10 rupees. Probably उनको कुछ उस फंड हाउस में उस फंड में कुछ वैल्यू दिखता है, तभी वो उस NFO में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. ये चीज 2008 से पहले बहुत ट्रू थी, बिकॉज वो वाले साइकिल में 2004 से 8 के बीच में हर महीने कम से कम 10 NFOs आते थे और सब 10 रुपए के हिसाब से बिकते थे, क्योंकि 10 रुपए का है, सस्ता है तो आप ले लो. लेकिन आई थिंक उमेश जी, यहाँ आपका रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है इन्वेस्टर्स को एजुकेट करने में कि 10 रुपए या 100 रुपए उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. यू शुड लुक एट द पेडिग्री ऑफ द फंड हाउस. फंड हाउस की क्या क्वालिटी है, उनके क्या फंड मैनेजमेंट क्रेडेंशियल्स हैं, क्या ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, आपको वो सब चीजें देखनी चाहिए, और फंड की क्या वैल्यू है जो आप ऑफर कर रहे हैं. The next question is, how do you see the RIA space developing post the recent regulation?
So I was just on a conversation with the head of the ARIA group 2 days ago. It's a space that is expanding slowly but surely. There is a set in India. There has always been a resistance to pure fee-paying advice. I think that is just how we are as a country. But I think there is more awareness that is gradually building up. I wouldn't say it has exploded, but I would say it's expanding slowly but surely. And again, I think there is room for all kinds of models.
Right. So Umesh ji has a follow-up question that when to focus on NFO. उमेश जी, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, अगर आपको किसी भी फंड में कुछ वैल्यू दिखती है कि वो फंड का जो बेसिक फीचर्स हैं, ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं, वो आपके क्लाइंट के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के साथ मीट करते हैं, पहली चीज. दूसरा, अगर आपको उस फंड हाउस के ऊपर कॉन्फिडेंस है कि वो आपका पैसा अच्छे से मैनेज करेगा, और तीसरा, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके क्लाइंट के ओवरऑल एसेट एलोकेशन वो फंड जो है फिट बैठता है, तो ही आप किसी एनएफओ को देखते हैं. Mr. Isaac has a follow-up question. He's saying that, do you expect the economy and earnings on a structural uptrend in the next 2 to 3 years?
Yes, and I think earlier parts of my answer alluded to that. And I think the other point which I forgot to make is that for a long time, the economy was driven largely by consumption-driven companies. I think more investment and capex-oriented companies will start contributing. I will make one point on NFOs for Umesh ji. People comment on that. I don't think anyone should blame fund houses for launching NFOs. You know, we are like restaurant chains and businesses who have to launch different things, right? You as an advisor and you as a consumer decide aapko kahan khana hai, right? Now, just because a restaurant opens in town doesn't mean Bombay mein jitne restaurant khulte hain, aap har jagah to nahi jate na. And you don't blame the restaurant company ki yaar tumne NFO kyun kiya. So let's not get so sentimental about that. Business will do what business has to do. A discerning advisor and a discerning investor has to realize what is good for his diet, how much he can eat, and at which restaurant he wants to eat, right?
I'm glad that you are probably one of the CEOs, or the first CEO to be very candid in saying what you just said, Radhika. The next question is from Mr. Srinivasan. He's saying that Europe has not performed over the last many years. Is it good to allocate in Euro? What's your view on Europe fund? Also, your view on China with current changes in Chinese government tightening of some sectors.
Okay, so Europe, our view is sort of above average. We realize our Europe fund has been one of the better performers. In fact, we've seen, because Europe, I think, Europe is a value bet. We are excited about China, however. So I think if you look at all markets today, after the correction, China is one of the cheapest markets that there is.
Right.
There. And when we speak to our asset management team, the government is not trying to end Chinese tech companies. They're just trying to ensure a fair play. Outside of some sectors like gaming and education, where at least our funds don't have any exposure, we don't think China is going to let its entire sort of technology infrastructure collapse. So with the kind of valuations and correction you've seen, China is actually the cheapest it's been in years.
Sure. The next question is from Mr. Dushyant Mehta. Investing in an NFO having 3 years of locking period is a good choice for short-term investment, because I've experienced 3-4 such NFOs which are giving negative returns of 0.8 to 1.3%.
Yeah, I would expect this to come. So there's nothing special about an NFO, right? An NFO is if an equity NFO is like an equity fund. Now, if I said, should you invest in an equity fund for 2 years, NFO or non-NFO, that's no is the right answer. Equity is 5 to 7 years. If you're investing in an NFO, please don't expect to get magic. It's the same thing. I mean, there are 5 Chinese restaurants in the country. One more guy decided to open a Chinese restaurant. Now, Chinese food is going to taste like Chinese food. Its nutritional value is going to be that. So that is how you have to think about it. And if you're investing in equity in these markets, the one thing you have to do is take up your time horizons. You're not investing in the cheapest market. So, I know in this social media driven market, one of the challenges is that time horizons, we can become very impatient. This is a time that calls for more patience.
Right, absolutely. It certainly calls for more patience. And the other thing which is happening is, Radhika, कि अभी जो booms और busts हैं, उसका time period भी बहुत छोटा हो गया. In the sense that, you suddenly have a very sharp correction and you have a very sharp pullback. Whereas earlier, you used to have long
cycles are getting shorter. Yeah.
The cycles are getting shorter.
And sharper.
So what it is doing is कि market को time करना उतना और difficult होता था, right? So anyways, market timing is very difficult, right? No one can do it. But now I think in the current cycle, it's becoming more and more difficult. The next question from Mr. Srinivasan is, how should we diversify internationally for our investors?
So you must diversify. How much, I think, is a question you have to answer. You can start at 5% and go all the way to even 25. You should have developed markets exposure. I think you should also have emerging markets exposure. You should make sure your investors understand international investing, because the problem with international investing, and again, we are large players in this market, is people come in when the tide has been really good, thinking, oh, China has done so well, tech has done so well. And, India is a market we understand. We understand the economy, the politics, the companies, etc., etc. China mein kuch gadbad hoti hai na, and I've seen this in my own, but we panic. We think there's a scam. We think the country is going to go, and people probably think the same thing about us when they look at us from a distance. Foreign markets are difficult. So people have to make intelligent allocations, and remember, equity is equity, whether it's European equity, Chinese equity, American equity. The time horizon still has to be the long one.
Sure. I think we are almost up with the time. We'll just take one final question, Radhika, which is from Mr. Dushyant Mehta again, saying, ma'am, just one simple question. What is the ideal time to invest in a mutual fund equity, even if NFOs are giving negative returns after 3-4 years?
Okay. Ideal time horizon, 5 to 7 years. Equity.
Okay. Great. Okay. I think we are through with the questions. So it's been a great session, Radhika. आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आज हमारे साथ आने के लिए और अपना thoughts share करने के लिए. We are delighted to have you talk to us, and we would love to have you, come more often and speak to our distributors and investors going forward.
No, thank you so much for having me, and thanks for all the questions. It was really interesting for me also. I also learned something from this.
Sure. Thank you, Radhika.
Thank you. Thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you.